Huawei has taken the wraps off its second-generation foldable phone. Only there's a lot about it that's very familiar. It clearly resembles last year's Mate X with only a few things changed. So what's the difference? The Mate X didn't really make it beyond China after its reveal this time last year. We're now expecting the Mate XS to get a launch in Europe instead. Because the handsets weren't launched in Europe, the models we saw didn't have any Google apps. With Huawei's US trade ban in place, we now know the Mate XS will launch without Google apps. What's the same? Design. 161.3 by 78.5 by 11 mm, 300 grams. The main design of the phone remains unchanged. It's essentially still the same size, although it weighs 5 grams more, probably due to the redesigned hinge, see below. Again, the screen folds away from the hinge once released by a button, and again the display is on the outside of the phone, so the front part is usable as a standard phone. Don't expect any form of water or dust resistance from either device. The hinge part includes most of the hardware, including the fast 55W charging port, fast charger included, SIM card slot, cameras, volume rocker and release button. Pocket lint. Screen. Foldable OLED 8-inch 2200x2480. Front screen when folded is 6.6 inches. The foldable OLED display remains the same in terms of specs. Fully unfolded, it's 8 inches in size with a 2200x2480 pixel resolution that clocks in around 414 pixels per inch. When folded, the front screen is 6.6 inches with a 1148x2480 resolution. The only time the rear display kicks in when folded is when you take a selfie. Cameras. Quad camera setup. Leica optics again. The camera setup has 4 lenses, and as with other Huawei devices, the lenses are engineered by Leica. There's a main 40-megapixel lens straight out of the P30 Pro, f1.8, 27mm wide, an 8-megapixel f2.4, 52mm telephoto lens, a 16-megapixel f2.2, 17mm ultrawide lens, and finally a time-of-flight 3D lens. 4K video recording is supported at 30 fps. What's different? Specifications. Size. Width. 78.5 mm. Height. 161.3 mm. Depth. 11 mm. Weight. Approximately 300 grams, including the battery. Asterisk. The product size, product weight, and related specifications are theoretical values only. Actual measurements between individual products may vary. Color. Interstellar blue. Display. Size. Unfolded, 8 inches. Folded. Main screen, 6.6 inches. Secondary screen, 6.38 inches. Asterisk. With a rounded corners design on the display, the diagonal length of the screen is measured according to the standard rectangle. The actual viewable area is slightly smaller. Color. 16.7 million colors. Type. OLED. Resolution. Unfolded, 2480x2200. Folded. Main screen, 2480x1148. Secondary screen, 2480x892. Asterisk. With a rounded corners design on the display, the resolution of the screen is measured according to the standard rectangle. The effective pixels are slightly less. Processor. CPU. Huawei Kirin 995G. Octa-core processor. 2x Cortex A76 base 2.86 GHz plus 2x Cortex A76 base 2.36 GHz plus 4x Cortex A55 1.95 GHz. GPU. 16-core Mali G76. NPU. Dual Big Core plus Tiny Core NPUs, Neural Network Processing Unit. Operating System. EMUI 10.0.1, based on Android 10. Memory. 8 GB RAM plus 512 GB ROM. Asterisk the available internal storage may be smaller as part of the internal storage is occupied by software. Actual memory space may change due to app updates, user operations, and other related factors. External memory support. Nanometer SD card, up to 256 GB. Asterisk sold separately. Camera. Rear camera. Leica quad camera. 40 MP, wide-angle lens, f1.8 aperture, plus 16 MP, ultra-wide-angle lens, f2.2 aperture, plus 8 MP, telephoto, f2.4 aperture, OIS, Huawei time of flight, TOF camera. Supports autofocus, phase focus, contrast focus, supports ASH, Huawei AI image stabilization. About HiSilicon Kirin 995G. The HiSilicon Kirin 995G is an ARM-based high-end octa-core SoC for smartphones and tablets, which was introduced with the Huawei Mate 30 Pro in late 2019. It integrates 8 CPU cores in 3 clusters. The performance cluster contains 2 Cortex-A76 cores with up to 2.86 GHz. The balanced cluster contains also 2 Cortex-A76 cores but with only up to 2.36 GHz. And finally, the power-saving cluster contains 4 small ARM Cortex-A55 cores with up to 1.95 GHz. Furthermore, the SoC integrates a neural processor, 2+1 cores, for AI tasks and a ARM Mali G76 MP16 GPU cloaked at up to 700 MHz. Compared to the 4G version, the 5G Kirin 990 integrates a Belong 5G modem and is slightly higher clocked 2 of the 3 clusters and the GPU. The Kirin 995G is produced in the modern 7 nanometers, 7FF+ with EUV process at TSMC. The 4G version is still produced in the slightly older 7 nanometers process as the Kirin 980.